Welcome back. Extreme heat, hurricanes, and heavy rain, it is all part of summer in southeast Louisiana, but it can mean some uncertainty and less outside time for our pets. Dr. Jennifer Quammen, president of the American Veterinary Medical Association, has some good advice.
Dr. Quammen, we are no stranger to severe weather here in southeast Louisiana, and we know that there's some things that you can do to make sure that your pets are safe. Can you talk about just some of the best reminders, overview of what you can do?
Yeah, great question, and thanks so much for the opportunity to share. I think in general, we can get a little caught up in our day-to-day and not stop and think about the things that are easy, but I don't always think are simple to continue to do. And so I think having a plan is probably the most important thing I would encourage folks to do. So whether you are going to be prepping for a severe weather or other emergencies that might come through, having some kind of emergency kit for your pet is really important. That includes things like their identification, hopefully a microchip, but maybe not. Maybe it's a collar and a tag, food and water and ways to deliver that, and I mean like dishes or bowls, having their medications if your pet is on regular medications. And I think the thing people forget about is a carrier or a leash. You know, you can get an extra leash or a harness, keep it in that bag and just forget about it and hopefully never need it. But when you do need it, it's all there and you don't have to scramble looking for it.
When it comes to the summer months, are there unique challenges or unique emergencies that we're preparing for?
Yeah, I mean, you live in a place that is pretty warm, and in the summer, you know, those heat advisories and heat indices can get pretty high. And so we're always wanting to think about ways that we can avoid putting pets in unsafe or compromising positions. And so if it is too unsafe for you to be outdoors for extended period of time, it's unsafe for your pets as well. And so if you need to get them out for restroom breaks, you're going to want to do that earlier in the morning or later at night, not in the really thick heat of the day. And I would encourage folks to not do heavy exercise. So maybe finding some distractions, some games that you can play with your dog indoors, and keeping them indoors, especially during those peak heat hours. Plenty of access to fresh, clean water, and of course, taking care of yourself as well, and realizing that they are not able to offload some of the heat on their body through sweat. They do that by panting, and they do that across the pads of their feet. So they're physiologically just a little bit different than you and I are.
If you do have to evacuate, God forbid, what records are the most important to bring with you? If you needed to seek veterinary care in another city, what are the vital documents you should bring?
Yeah, gosh, I'd love you to have everything, and most of us are now able to have that in a digital form, but even if you can't have it digital, then I would want to at least have maybe the most recent 6 to 12 months of medical information in terms of medications, vaccination status, their microchip number. Those are all really important to have, and typically your medical records from your veterinarian will include much of that. If they don't, you can always call and ask them to include that, and they can email or send it over to you very easily these days. Those can be accomplished. That is probably the most paramount thing, because if you need to get more medications, it's very helpful for that next veterinarian that's helping in that short-term plan to know what testing has been done, what medications that animal is on, so that we can help and do what we value the most as veterinarians, is keeping those animals safe, happy, and healthy. And having that background information of medical records really helps us a lot. Vaccinations, in particular rabies, is also important if you're traveling, because that might change if you have to be in a shelter situation or if you're in an emergency situation. That is also valuable for you, but also to keep your pet safe as well.
Dr. Quammen, thank you so much. This is great advice, good reminders. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. And if folks have any other additional questions, certainly can always evaluate the American Veterinary Medical Association's website. Really long name, but simple website, avma.org.